For our next award, I'd like to invite all the past recipients of the Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award to join me on stage. The Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award, presented each year by the International Council of Air Shows, widely recognized to be the single highest honor that an air show performer can receive. The list of past recipients bearing Art Scholl's, of the award bearing Art Scholl's name has become the most exclusive club in the air show industry, to include names like Bob Hoover, Leo Laudenschlager, The French Connection, Danny Clisham, Sean D. Tucker, The Red Barons, Michael Goulian, Rob Holland, Gene Soucy, and Patty Wagstaff. Tonight's award presentation will become the 40th recipient since the award was first presented to airshow legend Jimmy Franklin back in 1986.
The Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award honors those who embody the very spirit of airshow performance. Those whose creativity, professionalism, and connection with the audience elevate the entire experience. At every airshow, there are moments that you never forget. Sometimes it's the sight of an airshow act for the first time. Sometimes it's the surprise of that sneak pass. And sometimes it's the voice that helps you understand why that moment matters. For more than 30 years, Ric Peterson has been that voice. Ric has spent his career helping audiences see more than just airplanes in the sky. He gives them context, he gives them history, and most importantly, he gives them a reason to feel something. Ric understands that the best air shows are not just watched, they're felt. He was among the first to recognize the power of music and lyrics, and using its pacing as part of that experience. By pairing narration with sound, he helped transform how audiences connect with performance, creating moments of anticipation, excitement, and reflection that stay with them long after the last aircraft lands. And Ric's impact doesn't stop where the show line ends. Through video storytelling, promotional content, and as co-host of Show Center, the Air Show podcast, he continues to share the stories of our industry, strengthening the connection between air shows and the audiences they serve. Ric brings care, professionalism, and passion to everything he does. He supports performers and connects their story to the audience. He elevates events, and he respects the craft of aviation and the expectations of the audience. Tonight, we honor not just a voice, but the impact behind it. The storytelling, the timing, the connection. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 recipient of the Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award, Ric Peterson.
Ric becomes only the second air show announcer to receive the Art Scholl Memorial Showmanship Award. Danny Clisham won that award in 1994. Ric is only the third Canadian to receive the award, joining the Snowbirds, who were presented the second Scholl Award in 1987, and Bud Granley, who took home the award in 2005. Congratulations, Ric.
Okay, this isn't funny if it's a joke. If I swear to God, if Lucy comes out here and steals that thing now, I will step on her. Wow. You know, at a time like this, and I just saw it with Bud, and it's so true of all of us, and we know that the first person I have to thank is at home right now, taking care of the dog and the house and the homestead, as she does so many times when I'm on the road, having a great time doing what we do with that other family that she knows is so important to me. Mabon, the love of my life, thank you so much. Yeah. Look at these guys. Look, they all risk their lives. I don't risk my life every weekend. Although I did go in a motorcade with Wayne Boggs once. But I do, and Danny Clisham, the other announcer that has done this, we're performers, and that's official now. Once again, entertainers when it comes to the badges we wear at this convention, when it comes to being signed up at an air show, each and every one of the men and the women who do this now, you're all being honored in moments like this because we're entertainers and performers as well, and it's recognized, and I thank them all. But Danny, my first convention, when I dipped my toe into this to see if I really wanted to do it, Danny was at Reno, where the convention was there, doing the chairman's banquet, and I just thought, there is the benchmark, there's where I need to be to tell the stories, because this band, more than anyone, has always connected the personalities, the families. He knows their names, the names of their dogs, their cats. He knows everything about them, and he's not afraid to tell those stories. And I appreciate you so much, Danny, and you know that. And then to find out as I was a kid listening to AM radio late at night, overnights dreaming of something bigger than the small town I grew up in, where my dad set me on the nose cone of an airplane at an air show with his Piper Cub and everything in Smiths Falls, Ontario, this small little 9,000 population town. And the performer there and where the hooks went in was a young 20-year-old Gene Soucy. And I just thought, this is really something. This is where I want to be. This is where I fell in love with the Pit Special. And Danny, and all of this just connects it all the way back to that. The first poster I ever got when I went into broadcasting from a friend who knew how much I was plain crazy, gave me a poster as a welcome gift to the radio station in Montreal, where I was hitting the big time now, the major markets. And the poster was of a sky with a hot air balloon, a glider, and a Kristen Eagle, and it said Salinas on it. And I don't know if you remember that, but that was probably your first poster, and damn it, I still have that. And then it's been 40 years that I've been doing this now, and collecting those stories, and traveling with people like John Moore. I decided that if I was going to do this, and I had to do it seriously enough to get to your level, to know these people, that I would travel with John Moore for a summer. And John took me on as his spot announcer, sending that decrepit old, God, I don't know how I survived it, twin Comanche of his to come and get me because his son needed to log some hours, and the stories I have, we don't have time for, but I have risked my life to do this. I really have. Let's just leave it at that. And then Mike Wiskus with Lucas Oil, and some of the people over the time that have allowed me to help them image their products to tell their stories, because it's so important to connect the personality, not just the airplane, to the crowd so they can know they can do it too. And that's what it's been all about. First great American to hire me south of the border, Larry Gologoli at Rhode Island. God love him. Larry said, lobsters and mobsters, Rick, you're going to love it. He was right about the lobster. And I got down there and did the show. It scared the hell out of me the first time ever. I stood on the top of a truck, and there was 100,000 people all standing there looking at you and waiting for what you had to say. And I thought, this is really something, because I'm making those who fly the stars, telling their stories and connecting all of what they do so that they know they can do it too. As we said at the luncheon, it's good to be us. Right now it's good to be me, I gotta be honest. This really is humbling though. And Rhode Island, where you learn when you're doing, and you know I get in trouble, and John Cudahy, thank you for over the years for never saying no to me, even though I crossed the lines many times, and you took the heat for it, I'm sure. And I learned baptism by fire. You try things, you try and push, because I always wanted to bring a little bit of humor to what we do, just to be a little bit different, because we can have some fun as well. But I remember working as the spot announcer with John Moore back at Rhode Island, and saying at the time, because I couldn't stop my mouth and my brain, just saying, and that year was the same year it all lined up, that John Stearman was the same age as Bill Clinton. It was, and the airframe was every bit as stiff as Al Gore. And I know, oh! And Larry Gologoli taps me on the shoulder and goes, Rick. And I said, yes, Larry. He says, Mr. Gore is here. They never had me back, but it was good fun. It was good fun. They all took it in good stride. Whew. Rob Ryder, Matt Jolly, who's over here. Rob is now retired. He's at home right now, but he's been texting us all the time. How's it going, guys? He just still can't let it go. God love him. But and now Steph Strickland, who's on the team with the podcast, and the fact that you all listen to it as much as you do, it means an awful lot to us because, again, we get to tell your stories and get it out there. So I want to thank them, too. But it all began with Dan McLaren. And Dano's not here. I wish he was. Dano's retired now, too. Also having a little hard time letting it go, but I think he's finally gotten to that stage. It was Dan McLaren who told me in Montreal, where because it was the aerospace capital of Canada, that I still is, they had 3 shows a year, and I was getting involved in that. Tragically, because of an accident, I thought they need some kind of control, and I won't go into all of that, but that, again, the importance of an announcer and what we do. And Dano said, you ought to take this on the road, what you do, because you try and make it entertaining, you have fun with it, you got some humor, and come on to the ICAST convention, where I watched you and started thinking about seriously taking it on. And Dano, God love him, just kept on me until I made it happen. So Dan McLaren, I can't thank you enough because you brought me to a whole other level, a whole other family, and a whole other experience that made it more authentic in my life because, and I'm not going to belittle the media types that I work with because I made some good friendships there and there were some genuine people, but overall, they don't have the cred or the authenticity. And Pete, you are authentic. You are authentic. You get in the airplane, you fly, you live, and those types rise to the levels that Pete has. But it's a different world here. You've got the credentials. You put the time in. You put the hours in. You get creative and you risk your lives. It's an unforgiving thing that we do. But I appreciate it so much because I thought they have to know, those who come to these air shows, that it's more than just the airplane. It's the brain, it's the soul, it's the heart that's flying it that's so important. I'm going to forget people right now because I've got things going through my mind, the people that along the way have meant so much to me, to make sure that, I got to where I needed to be with this, and I never at any time thought of giving it up because it means so much. And I see that because I'm at center stage. Well, you guys are up there pulling the G's and doing the Lomshevex and everything else you do. I'm watching the people down on the ground, and why I started to do videography was people have to see the reaction that you make, that happens when you do what you do. And I see that, and I know how important it is and how inspiring it is. So we said it, and we mean it, and we say it over and over again, and Dennis Dunbar started. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Darcy. Thank you to so many, the air bosses through the time, Ralph, as you saw there, believing in me, George Klein, and of course, Boggs, good God, Boggs, and all of the air bosses, Kelsey and Ray and Donna and all of the people north of the border too that just kept coming back and saying, come back and do this and let's do another show and another show. I can't thank them enough. Every one of those people that have believed in me and put me front and center to help image and project who it is you are and connect them to these stars here. Whew. I'm just filled with all sorts of emotions right now, and I just hope I haven't left anybody out. I don't want to drag this thing on because we've got the biggest award yet to come, but I thank you so much for what you do, who you are, and where we go and what we do, because again, it's good to be us, all of us. Thank you. I'll tell you one thing, I may break some protocol right now, if you'll permit me. Mike, I need a drink. Can we just break protocol and do it right now? For the love of God, give me this thing. What's the combination?